Okay, get this. Right now, as you're sitting there, your body is performing millions of tiny miracles every single second. It's healing, it's growing, and it's all powered by two fundamental, well, let's call them superpowers. We're going to dive in and see exactly how these powers build and renew the entire living world. I mean, really think about it for a second. How does a scraped knee just fix itself? Or how did you go from being a tiny baby to the person you are right now? Where did all that you come from? Well, the answer is a process that gives some animals honest-to-goodness superpowers, like a starfish regrowing an arm. And believe it or not, that same fundamental process is chugging away inside you at this very moment. It's all about cell division.
But, before a cell can divide, it has to live a little. It needs to grow up, do its job, and get all its ducks in a row for the big event. This whole journey is what we call the cell cycle.
Now, you might think a cell's life is all about that dramatic moment of splitting in two, but nope, take a look. Most of its time is actually spent in what's called interphase. This is basically the cell's day job. It's busy growing, carrying out its normal functions, and, this is super important, making a perfect copy of all its DNA. And before we get any further, we have to talk about these guys, chromosomes. All that DNA we just mentioned, it doesn't just float around like spaghetti. It's neatly packaged into these things. The best way to think of a chromosome is like a super detailed instruction manual for, well, everything.
All right, that brings us to our first superpower, mitosis. If a cell needs to divide, this is its go-to move. Think of mitosis as the body's flawless high-tech copy machine. Its whole purpose is to turn one cell into two identical cells. So, the goal of mitosis isn't about creating anything new or different. It's all about making perfect clones. When you need more skin cells or liver cells or blood cells, you want them to be exactly the same as the originals, right? That is the job of mitosis.
The whole process plays out like a beautifully choreographed dance. It has 4 main steps, so let's walk through them. First step, prophase. The DNA, which is usually all loose and stringy, coils up super tightly and becomes these visible chromosomes. You'll notice they kind of look like the letter X. That's because each one is actually made of 2 identical copies, all set to be pulled apart.
Next comes metaphase. An easy way to remember this one is M for middle. All of the chromosomes line up right down the center of the cell. It's incredibly organized, and it's all to make sure the split is perfectly even.
And then we have anaphase. You can think A for apart. The 2 identical copies of each chromosome are pulled to opposite sides of the cell. This is the crucial step that guarantees each new cell gets a complete and identical set of those instruction manuals.
Finally, we hit telophase. The dance is almost over. 2 brand new nuclei form around the chromosomes on each side. Then, in a final step called cytokinesis, the whole cell pinches in the middle and splits into 2. And voila! You have 2 perfect clones.
But wait a second. This brings up a really good question. If our bodies are built on making perfect copies of cells for growth and repair, where does all the variety in the world come from? Why aren't we all just clones? Well, for that, you need a completely different superpower.
And that brings us to superpower number 2, meiosis. Now, if mitosis is a copy machine, then meiosis is a genetic remix artist. Its job isn't to make clones. Its job is to create variety.
The whole point of meiosis is to create special cells, sperm and eggs. And here's the kicker. These cells are not clones. Each one is unique, and they have only half the normal number of chromosomes. We call these special cells haploid. So how in the world does meiosis create all this amazing variety? It has a secret weapon called crossing over. You can see here the chromosome pairs get really cozy and literally swap little pieces of their DNA with each other. It's like shuffling a deck of cards to create a totally new hand. It's the ultimate genetic shuffle. And here's another big difference. Unlike the one-and-done division of mitosis, meiosis goes through 2 full rounds of division. You have meiosis 1 and then meiosis 2. This double division is how it goes from 1 starting cell to 4 completely unique haploid sex cells. Okay, so we've met our 2 cellular superpowers. Now let's put them side by side in a showdown to make the differences totally clear. If you remember just one thing, let it be this. Mitosis is for making more body cells, your skin, your bone, your muscles. Meiosis, on the other hand, is only for making sex cells, which we call gametes. This chart really nails it. Mitosis, one division resulting in two identical diploid cells. That means cells with a full set of chromosomes. Its purpose is growth and repair. Meiosis, two divisions resulting in four unique haploid cells with only half the chromosomes. Its whole purpose is sexual reproduction. So, after all this microscopic dancing and splitting, what's the big picture? Why should we care about any of this? Well, these two pictures sum it up perfectly. On the left, you see a hydra, literally budding a clone of itself off its side. That's the power of mitosis in action, making perfect copies. And on the right, the incredible diversity of butterflies. That's the result of meiosis, shuffling the genetic deck to create endless variation. So when you boil it all down, these two superpowers are responsible for pretty much everything. Your growth from a single cell, the healing of a paper cut, and all of the beautiful, stunning genetic diversity we see all over planet Earth. And that just leaves us with one final, kind of mind-blowing thought. Isn't it amazing that a simple set of rules for how one cell divides can lead to all the staggering complexity and beauty of life on our planet? It really makes you wonder, what other simple rules are out there, quietly building the world around us?